Hi friends, in my earlier videos I have demonstrated how to create Windows servers on Azure or on AWS. You can see my videos here. You can create your Elastic Beanstalk, or you can also create your relational database by using AWS RDS, or I also showed you the EC2 creation with Windows 2016 server, and then how to configure the IAS and how to deploy the website from your Visual Studio to that particular EC2 instance. Similarly, I have also shown how to deploy your website to Elastic Beanstalk from the Visual Studio. Today, I'm going to cover the Linux server creation on the AWS. So let us jump into the today's agenda. So I'm going to use my free trial account of the AWS. In case if you do not have one, please create one. You will not be charged for all these type of activities, but you should be very careful while you're creating what type of resources. So let us jump. Now you can directly see launch a virtual machine with EC2. You can directly go here, or you can also search for EC2 here. So both are same. Anyway, I'm just going to create the EC2 instance. Always be careful about your region. Here it is already selected. That means your servers are also going to be there on that particular region. So now I'm going to create the instance. Simply go to the launch instance. So here you will be able to select the different type of servers. You have Amazon Linux 2 AMI, Red Hat, and you can also check which is free tier eligible. So if you want RDS based EC2 instance, you can select this one, but I'm going to go with very simple Linux operating system which comes with the Amazon Linux. You can also go ahead with the Red Hat or SAC enterprise server, which is again Linux server. So I'm going to go with Amazon Linux. Now, what is the type of EC2 instance you need? I'm going to use the general purpose and with the minimum configuration like one virtual CPU and memory 1 GB, JB, EBS storage. So all those things default values I'm going with. In case if you need different configuration, you can go ahead and change it. So I'll just quickly go through the various configuration instance details. So here you can select a number of instances you need. In case if you need multiple instances of the same, you can set the number here. And if you have virtual PC, like in case if you want to set it up this particular PC under your private network, you can create one and then you can push it to that particular VPC. So I'm just going to skip all those things. These are just general parameters like what should be your shutdown behavior, what are the IAM roles you are going to assign to this. So all these parameters you can easily understand. Next, add the storage. You can add additional storage, elastic block storage, or you can just leave it with 8 GB. So if you need more volume, go ahead and do that. Next one is tags. In case if you want to track all your one type of resources under the tags, like by using that, then it will be really good. For example, if you are creating a website, all website related stuff, you want to keep it with one particular tag. So you can easily track those type of resources which are under for one particular purpose. So you can just say add a website deployment. So for all the related resources, you can just give same key and value so that it will be easy to track, review, and you can add multiple tags. But if you want to just put it like front-end server or back-end server or middleware, so then you can easily divide or categorize those type of resources. So then if you want to configure the security, it is already giving SSH with TCP/22. In case if you want any additional ports, you can add on, like for example HTTP, if you want to just add the port. And if you want to only access this particular mission from your IP, then you can mention my IP. Or if you want to do it from anywhere, you can go ahead and do that. Anywhere means that particular mission will be accessible for any type of network or any public internet. But if you select my IP, only those particular specific IPs will be taken. So it already read my IP and it is given here, right? So review and launch. In case if you have any key pair, this is very important to access your Linux machine later. It's nothing but your user ID password, but here you are going to use SSH mode. So you can create a certificate and you can use that particular certificate. I'm going to create a new one, though I have already one, but for the demonstration purpose I'm going to create one. You can say anything like website creation key. So download that. Your PEM file is already downloaded. Now launch the instance. It will just take a couple of minutes to launch your instance. You can go back to your dashboard and check how far it has come. Running instances. So it already started creating it. It is under the pending. This is my earlier instance. I terminated that. But in case if you want to terminate anything, just simple go to the actions and you can see various activities you can perform, like actions you can perform. You can either start or stop or reboot or terminate, or you can hibernate those things. If you terminate, it will be completely removed so that you will be saved from the billing. In case if you stop it, you will get less billing than the running your instance. Whenever you don't have work but you still want to use in future, better stop it to save your cost. In case if you are updating something on your operating system and then you will need to, if you have to reboot, then you can use this. And there are various parameters, like you can even create a image. Image is like you have configured everything on that particular mission and you want to replicate the same mission like with 10-20 instances, then you can use image concept. So create image, and from that particular image you will be able to create 20-30 instances, whatever you required. So coming back to the topic, now it is running. As I mentioned, within less than a couple of minutes the instance is ready. If it is Windows instance, it will take little more time. I already have some software called MobiXterm, but there are plenty of other tools like PuTTY, and even Amazon provides, I think, some tools. By using those tools, you will be access the Linux machines. So let us just open that MobiXterm. I am a bit flexible somehow with MobiXterm, that's why I usually use this. So you can see here, this is the one. You got a terminal and you can add multiple machines here by just simply clicking on the new session. You will be able to add multiple machines. In case if you are running 20-30 different missions, all those missions you can connect by using this user sessions. That's why, you know, it will be easy to organize, or if it is easy to install the softwares on your various operating systems, set up on your AWS or on Azure, especially for the Linux type of mission. You have plenty of different options here, but I'm going to select SSH because I have enabled SSH during my EC2 creation, if you remember. So you can specify your remote host. That means you need to take the IP from your EC2 instance. Just select that, and here your public IP. Just copy that and then enter the remote host. So you have to specify your username. Usually for Amazon AMI instances, it will be EC2 user. So you can mention EC2 user and take the advanced settings. Use the private key here and then select your PEM file. If you remember, I have downloaded the PEM file earlier while I was creating the EC2 instance. So select that and open. Sorry, by mistake I think I placed E. Now I think you already set to go. So now you can see that you already on your Linux machine. Now you can start using your commands in case if you have any. Sudo apt get That's command not found. Let me try with sudo apt-get update. Oh, the command not found. Let me try sudo em update. So the problem here is like every operating system got different set of commands. Like I think apt-get update works with Ubuntu, but not with the Amazon EMI instance. Now you can see it gave like loaded plugins, extra suggestions, lang pack, and no packages marked for update. So these are the commands. I think you have to use em update for AMI. I'll continue showing the different commands, and probably I'll also try to set up one of the server on the Linux server. Thanks for watching my videos.